Yeah, so today I am going to be answering some of the most searched relationship questions, and I'm going to be giving my personal perspective. If that's something you're interested in, stay tuned. Hello, my name is Shar. I am not a therapist. I am not a life coach. I am not a social worker. I am just a young Black woman with a little experience under my belt. And these are my opinions. Why do avoidant partners disappear when you get closer? Okay, so this has more to do with the dynamic between the two of you because avoidance is like running away from it's a fear response. So 9 times out of 10 you are anxious and that makes the other person avoidant. So if you are dealing with someone that you feel like you can't catch, you can't get them to sit in one spot and to commit and to be all of the things, it's because you're trying too hard and it's scaring the shit out of them. The reason someone would keep you in a situationship is because you allow it, because you let them, because you don't say no, because you don't have any boundaries. That's the only way that someone can keep you in a situationship. You have to be able to understand that this person is either in or for your highest good or in your best interest, or they are not. And you have to be able to walk away when they are not. That's it. And it's kind of funny that this is the next question. So, why do people stay in relationships they know aren't right? People stay in relationships that they know are not right because um, there is like this lack of self-worth, self-love. It could be a nice little concoction of it all. 9 times out of 10, this is rooted in upbringing, like childhood trauma, um, because they think that it's normal, because um, relating to anybody is better than whatever they think not having anyone to relate to is like. It could be a lot of different reasons. It's really going to be based on that individual's life experiences and belief system. But it's gonna when once that person gets to the root of it, it's probably gonna be lack of self-worth or some kind of abandonment wound or fear. Can someone love you and still treat you badly? So this is something I feel like gets into individual psychology, and it still does not mean that it's acceptable. But yes, I do believe that someone can love you and still treat you badly. I also strongly believe that no one can give you more than they have for themselves. So, where they very much so may love you dearly and deeply, if they don't love themselves enough to have the appropriate overflow to express that to you, then they are not in any position for you to be relating with them. Okay, this next question. Why does healing sometimes make dating harder? Um, so I want to try to answer this without coming across as condescending or anything, but if you are needing to heal, you probably shouldn't be dating. So that's why it's hard. It's like trying to walk on a broken leg. Sit the fuck down. Like, take a seat. Let your leg, your heart, your mind, your body heal. Let it become or come back to itself. Know what it feels like to be whole without being attached to anyone. And then you'll be in a position where you are ready and capable of dating at full capacity, right? You're not going to try to run on a broken leg. So why are you trying to walk on it? Because the more you walk on a broken leg, the more you can pretty much assure yourself you will never be able to run. So that's why, because you shouldn't be doing it. Why do emotionally unavailable partners always come back? So this kind of spills into why someone would keep you in a situationship. They come back because they can, because they come back because you remain open to their nonsense. prime example, when I kind of leveled up or upgraded in my requirements for dating or romantic relationships, people that could not meet that just fell off. So if you're still attracting emotionally unavailable people, and not just any, but the people that you have already experienced, it's because there is still access. They still have access to you. And it's up to you to revoke said access. So I actually think that this is a really good question. How trauma bonds actually work. So trauma bonds work like most relationships today. There is this high, this intense sensation of like feeling attractive and desired. And then there's like this crash, and you spend some time trying to figure out what's wrong. That person comes back and validates that initial feeling and then drops you again. And then you kind of try to figure out what's wrong. And then that person comes back and you feel that intensity again. And then it's like a yo yo effect. And that is how trauma bonds actually work. It starts out with this unrealistic high, and then you kind of end up chasing it because the relationship is not based on anything stable or sufficient. Feeling addicted to somebody that treats you poorly, from my experience and understanding, comes from like a serious abandonment wound. You probably learned early that you had to work really hard to be loved. And it's kind of like a challenge to win this person's affection. So that's really what you're addicted to. You're addicted to proving that you are worthy of being loved. And if you are in such situation, like just be single and love yourself. Get familiar with what it's like to be alone, because you'll always attract people that don't treat you well until you heal. Why do you feel chemistry with the wrong people? Okay, so they aren't synonymous. Because you have chemistry with someone does not mean like they're your forever person. It just means that you two have an attraction to one another. So you have chemistry with someone because you're attracted to each other, and you're trying to force that attraction to mean more than y'all just attracted to each other. So they're not wrong, they're just not your person. That's it. So, yeah, that is it for this presentation. I answered these questions as truthfully as I could. I am not a therapist. I am not a social worker. I am just a young Black woman with a little bit of experience under my belt. So, I hope that this is enlightening, maybe even at least relatable. And yeah, until next time.